Welcome to the Rise of Virtual Cheese Awards 2025, showcasing the best of British cheese. I'm Vicky and I'll be moderating this session today. And we'll be doing judging Ewes milk soft cheese, which is class F5. I'm really excited to welcome two amazing judges with us today. So we've got Simon Farrow from Courtyard Dairy and Sarah Minnis, Cheese Bar at Waitrose. So let them introduce themselves. So Sarah, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. So I'm Sarah Minnis. I'm the specialist cheese buyer for Waitrose. I've been at Waitrose for 10 years now, 4 of those buying cheese. And this is my 3rd Virtual Cheese Award. So I'm very much looking forward to judging some amazing cheeses alongside Simon today.
Thank you. Simon?
Hi there, yes, I'm Simon. So I'm shop manager and head cheesemonger at the Courtyard Dairy. I've been working in cheese for about 10 years now, so working with cheeses. So been cheesemongering really. Judging here for my 2nd Virtual Cheese Award, so great being invited back for a 2nd year. And yeah, got some lovely categories today, so let's try some cheese.
Thanks, guys. So today we'll be judging across 4 key attributes. So each cheese will be judged for appearance, aroma, texture, and flavour, and the scores will be out of 10, and flavour is upweighted. So if the cheese has the best flavour, then that'll get more scores for it. So we will go through each cheese individually at the end, kind of announce who's won. So with no further hesitation, let's start on the first cheese, which is 1013.
Okay.
So we'll start with appearance.
Well, it looks quite halloumi-esque, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's coming in this little kind of baggie of kind of free moisture.
Yeah.
Sure, I've got some wax as well. But yeah, so yeah, it looks a bit like kind of feta-y. Got that kind of moisture to it, bit of a crumb. I've got some kind of residual cheese like bits coming off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very moist, isn't it? It's quite...
I've got some kind of imprint on mine from maybe its original packaging rather than after it's been cut and packed again. Some kind of little dots on one of the edges.
Yeah. And it looks like it could be like an oval shape or square shape. Mine's quite round.
Yeah, so I've got quite a square.
You've got a different shape. Yeah.
You lost a corner of it, haven't you?
Yeah. But it looks nice. There's some more sort of holes and aerated on the other side. But it looks...
On yours, you've got more kind of like cracks and maybe holes maybe than I have, because I've got that, maybe that edge.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it looks... I mean, I don't think it's supposed to look like that, but it looks really attractive. So
bright white as well. There's no kind of defects to the colour. There's no kind of unusual colouring or mould growth. So
no. So should we go like an 8 or something? 8 out of 10?
Yeah, it could start off at an 8.
Great.
Right. It smells really clean and yogurty and that sort of dairy, milky, lactic.
Yeah, there's not a huge kind of jumping up. You have to really kind of like search for that aroma. It's not kind of as you bring it to your nose, you're getting that kind of really intense.
No.
But again, there's no off flavours going on.
No. Yeah, it smells quite refreshing. It smells nice.
And it suggests it's quite a young cheese being that kind of like that colour. Not really intended for any age, so you'd expect that kind of real clean aroma.
Yeah. Let me cut into it. So aroma, what are we going to give it for aroma?
Well, again, it's fairly clean. There's nothing, there's no kind of secondary flavours coming, or the secondary aromas coming from it. So you could weight it a bit less, maybe 7-ish, because there's not there's nothing jumping out. Doesn't look bad, but
sort of one note. So yeah. So should we do 7 then?
Let's do 7.
Okay.
I'm wondering if once we've cut it, if you have like a sniff inside, because we're sniffing an edge that's been in at the bag.
Yeah, that's true. It smells the same inside.
You're getting some of that more kind of those sweet kind of caramelly aromas from sheep's milk coming from that, I think, just a little bit.
Yeah. Let's cut into it again. Yeah, you do get the sweet when you do cut into it. I can get that sweet note as well. Yeah, cool.
There's actually a bit more depth of flavour on the cut face.
Do you want to change the score?
Maybe leave it as it is for now, I think. But
yeah, because it's still it hasn't got multi dimensions to it, has it? It's still quite single, but I mean it smells really clean and yeah, as you say, no taints or anything on it. So
there's nothing wrong with it.
No. Right, we're going to try it.
So definitely a feta style. It's got that crumble.
High level of salt.
I kind of expect that though.
Yeah, in that type of cheese.
Yeah. They are kind of some of the highest salt level cheeses.
The salt keeps coming though to the end.
Yeah.
And almost quite peppery salt. It's quite it's almost spicy on the very end of it, isn't it? So
yeah, that's that kind of briny, that salinity that kind of almost burns that.
Yeah.
I might lose a mark or a bit or two for that.
What would you give it texture?
I like the texture. It's got that crumbling. It's not actually kind of too mouth coating.
No, it's not too dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes feta style can go a bit dry, can't it? And a bit dry.
It's everywhere in the mouth, and yeah.
The texture's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'll go 8, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think an 8. It's got a bit of gritty. The salt almost is crystallizing. It's almost a bit gritty, I think. That's probably why the salt level's just a bit high for me.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't expect in this type of cheese.
Because some of them are kind of really kind of creamy and rich as well. But they're kind of more, I'm not going to say this is not artisan cheese, but you know, you get some of these kind of jars of feta styles that are just melt in the mouth.
Yeah.
It's classic kind of what you'd expect, what consumers would expect of a feta.
Yeah. It is a bit gritty for me though at that very end.
Would you want to knock it down for the texture then, if you're not enjoying that grittiness?
Yeah, I just think the grittiness is maybe a bit too much. What should we give it?
Well, I said 8.
8. Should we give it a 7?
Let's go 7, yeah, go after that.
Yeah.
Because I quite like the way it crumbles in the mouth, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, just at that end when you eat a lot of it, or a bit more of it, and that comes through. The flavour, I mean, you do get clean flavours. That flavour at the end with that salt that just keeps coming is a bit harsh for me. I'd expect that just to be knocked down a bit. But
I think as soon as you put it in your mouth, you get that tiny little bit of that kind of classic sheep's milk sweetness, that kind of that flavour.
And caramel.
That salt does kind of carry on.
Yeah, you want more of that sweet note to come up and just
straight away, and then maybe it becomes that. Yeah.
But very interesting cheese. So what we're going to give it for flavour out of 10?
Does it let itself down a little bit on the flavour just because of that salt?
I think it's probably a 6.
I think maybe go as well as 6, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Looking cheese.
Yeah.
It's good, but yeah, maybe it's a bit not too salty.
Right, let me just.
The next one is 1040.
Put that back in its case.
We've got a nice wedge of cheese here.
Ooh, that looks exciting.
Right, let me just clean that cheese.
Yeah, I left mine on the plastic, so didn't.
Yeah, that was the more sensible option, Simon. Sorry, which one?
Vicky, was it?
1040.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that this time.
So mine's got cling film underneath the wax paper. Is yours as well? Yeah, yours as well, Sarah.
It's yeah, I have as well. Let me just pull that off a minute. It looks very, very white, but it's almost got like, it might be my lighting. It's got like a green, almost like a green tinge to the whiteness.
Yeah, that's kind of closer to the rind. If you look at where the rind is.
Yeah.
The of the rind is because it is so almost translucent, that paste, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do think the wrapping medium, I don't know if you can see on the edge there. I know these should probably be cleaned and we should probably cut it to look, but it's got the white growth where the cling film has been attached to it on
Yes.
mine.
Yeah.
That's just kind of transport though, so I'm not going to worry about that too much.
No. Maybe I might just cut into them.
The rind looks good.
Yeah, it looks really nice, doesn't it? I need a sharper knife.
Or a bigger knife, maybe. I've just got my little cheese
Big enough. Yeah. But yeah, I like the rind.
Yeah, looking inside, looks really it's bright white, nice and clean, like that slight yellow tinge to it.
Yeah.
That could be something to do with the fat levels because obviously sheep's milk is higher fat as well.
Yes. Yeah. So for appearance then, I think it looks quite cool.
I think it
Should we
looks
go
great.
like an 8? Yeah.
Yeah, it could go 8, could go up as high as 9 maybe, but 8's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks lovely.
Yeah, it does. Should we smell it? Let me smell it.
It's got that real aroma of almost, like the white mold that you see on the rind.
Yes.
And the real, almost like earthiness going on.
It's really earthy, isn't it? But not, but it still smells quite clean. It hasn't got any of those other notes coming through.
No.
It's just a really nice earthy note.
Probably quite
And
a
it's
young
not, go on, what were you
a
saying?
young peas.
Yeah.
At it.
But you do, when you smell it inside, you get that sweetness again that you were talking about with the sheep. So yeah, I think, I mean, it doesn't give you, I suppose you've got the note of the rind and then you've got the notes coming through from the cheese, but it's not overwhelming, is it? It's not massively strong. So should we go 8 again on the?
Could go 8, yeah.
8.
Go 8.
Right, let's have a look at. And texture looks good.
I think the texture looks lovely. It looks almost more like supple, more like squidgy, bouncy. If you kind of see that, you can kind of almost like squidge it.
Yeah.
It's got that nice kind of bend as well. I always like playing around with cheese. I get told off at different competitions for messing around with the cheese.
Yeah. I mean, mine inside's got lots of air holes, but that's not. I don't think that's an issue. We'll see how it tastes. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, good
okay?
morning. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, very good.
Right. It's got really soft texture.
Yeah, so really almost like yogurty, creamy.
Mm.
It's got that real kind of sweetness coming through from it. It's got that real kind of nice little bit of acidity there as well, which cuts through.
Yeah, almost that that taste you get with cottage cheese when you have it.
Yeah. It actually leaves a nice length as well. You get these almost butterscotchy notes right at the back of the palate.
I really like that.
I think that's really good.
Mm.
It's also nice to get a bit of the rind in as well because that adds that different dimension of flavour as well.
Yeah, you can try that.
Also texture because the paste can be quite one-dimensional. So with that, it gives it that bit of
earthiness comes through again. Yeah. I mean, the texture is lovely. I'd probably give it a 9 for texture.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the taste, there's so much going on.
I think the taste's really high as well, so maybe even 9 for taste.
Yeah. 9 again for the taste.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
9?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's lovely cheese.
Is this the first cheese that you're doing, or you're on number 2?
Second.
2. Wow.
No. But yeah, it's beautiful. Cool. Okay. Have we done all the marks, Vicky? We've forgotten anything.
No, all good. So the next one is 1149.
So we've got
This looks a different style again.
log-shaped goat or log-shaped sheep's milk cheese, sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mine.
That real kind of nice vermiculation on there.
Yeah.
What's that word you use?
Vermiculation, so that kind of wrinkly brain-esque
The shape brain. So I'm not very technical. So that was brain-like.
Pattern. New word.
Yeah, they just look really funky when they're like that, don't they?
Yeah.
But it just you just think you're going to get such a wonderful cheese inside. It just sort of
Yeah, so that would suggest it's got that kind of breakdown inside underneath that
Yeah.
rind.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So appearance, I
Pretty
think,
good rind.
yeah, I think it looks pretty good. And
There's
there's
a bit of drying on the edges around here, but it's been left in that paper since kind of delivery, so
yeah,
I'm not worried about that too much.
transport. And there's no other funny colours going on or anything, is it?
No. Again, there's a bit of that yellow, but inherently, like you've seen with the other sheets, which is they go a little bit yellow in some parts. So
Yes.
yeah, looks nice.
So what are we going to get? 8 again?
Yeah, it could go higher with an 8.
9? Should we go 9?
You do
I'm
half
happy with an 8, I think.
8, but you could do half scores. You want to do 8.5, or if you want to do
Oh, okay.
you.
Do 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.5. And for aroma,
Aroma.
Definitely get a kind of herbaceous, almost kind of note from that rind.
Yeah, it is herby, isn't it?
I want to cut it and smell the inside.
It's almost like a wood when it's been raining.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can't quite think of a word to describe that. When you walk through the woods and you get that sort of
that kind of vegetal kind of like kind of
Woody,
smell.
I guess. Woody.
because it almost smells like it's wet. You know, when it's about to rain and you get that sort of smell outside.
Ozone kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it smells like that. It's incredible.
Well, I've just cut mine, and inside I'm getting a
Just
real kind of like honeycomb kind of smell, like in it, like straight away.
Wow.
Yeah, you do.
That's really nice. It's got
Honey.
a nice.
And it's got nice breakdown. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, it's not too oozy. It's not kind of disappearing. It's still pretty stable cheese.
I'm looking forward to tasting this when we get there.
So for aroma, what do you want to? What score do you
I'd
want to?
go high here. I really like that.
Yeah, it sounds like
Maybe a 9.
9? Yeah, I'd go with 9. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. It's really interesting. Cool. And texturally, I think the breakdown is, like you say, it's nice. It's not too much. And it looks
there's nice
almost
different textures throughout as well, though, even just by appearance, like before we put it in, but you've got the kind of rind, breakdown, then paste.
Yeah. So that's probably high as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
8.5 again.
The texture is on the palate.
Yeah, we can, yeah.
8.5.
We're just going to taste it in case the texture changes on the palate, but it's a lovely texture.
Yeah, slightly mouth coating, slightly cloying, but actually nice.
But I think you expect that a bit in this type of cheese, don't you? Yeah, I think 8.5 for texture.
I'm happy with that. Very.
Yeah. The flavour.
So that slight like peppery note on the end, which is again what you expect from this type of cheese. Almost like a slight minerality as well. Like as soon as you put it in.
Yeah, it is really. It is definitely taking on those herbaceous characters through it, isn't it? Actually, and the peppery note, but it's not too strong. I think all of those flavours come through, but in quite a balanced way.
Yeah.
It has got length as well.
You can definitely tell it's sheep's milk, but it hasn't got that kind of sweetness of the previous cheese. And I know we're not meant to be benchmarking or anything like that, but
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of sweetness to maybe just categorize it as well.
As sheep.
Yeah, if you like blind tasting or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's true. With other sheep milks, you do get that sort of caramel-y sweetness, don't you?
You know, if you're a consumer and you were tasting this blind, would it be goat Would it be
You
sheep?
might think it was goat, yeah.
It's a consumer light without an experienced palate.
Mm.
I think it's good flavour though.
Mm.
7.5 maybe.
Yeah, maybe 7.5. Yeah, that peppery note at the end though is lovely. It's not too
Yeah.
strong. It just sort of finishes, doesn't it?
Almost kind of that kind of cloyy palate initially, but it cleans that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really clever cheese. It's lovely. You could eat a lot of it as well. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be one that you'd have to stop at. You could probably eat quite a lot of
Otherwise, how much of this could we eat? A lot. Let's score it quite high.
it. Cool. Yeah.
Gosh,
You
I
happy?
could eat some now, actually.
Yeah.
Making me really hungry watching this.
Sarah.
Hard, it's hard.
We are cheese deprived at this end, Vicky, aren't we?
I
Yeah.
know. I feel like I have like some kind of rebellion where I don't have any cheese. I'm not. Cool, great, thank you guys. And the next cheese is 1183. Yes.
A nice little round.
Mm.
Packaged well in almost like a thicker wax paper.
Yeah.
Like it's got that plastic with the wax underneath.
Oh, I'll get into mine. Come on. There we are. Cool. Yeah, again, the appearance. I mean, mine's got a few lines on from the wrapping, but that's just where it's been transported. But generally, it's quite even.
I do think with that type of wrapping, and sometimes with cheeses like this, you look how dominant the PC is, the white mold.
Yes.
And that can impact that kind of textural feel in the mouth, so you might get like a chewiness. But let's not jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no blue or black spots on it. I've got a little bit. Can you see there? A little bit of yellow, maybe, just there.
Yeah, just on the very edges. Yeah, but generally, I think it looks good. I think that's probably definitely another 7 again.
Yeah, at least.
We go.
Yeah, if you had that on a cheese board, and people would be usually gravitated to cheeses like that style, aren't they? That
Yeah. It just at the moment on the outside it just smells like that sort of white bloomy rind, doesn't it? I might just open it and
right, a little bit of ammonia there. I'm getting just a tiny bit.
Did you do a score for appearance?
Appearance. What do we say? 7.
We said
7.
7.
Yeah.
Happy with that? Yeah.
Yeah. So aroma. You get that sweetness again inside, and the outside you just get that sort of one dimensional. Though you said yours had a bit of ammonia, didn't you?
Yeah, but in on the paste.
No.
Not at all.
But you have to sniff quite hard to get something, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But then with all these cheeses, I think with sheep's milk, that's going to be the classic. You're going to have to try and kind of search for a lot of aroma, maybe.
Yeah.
It wasn't that last one that jumped out straight over that kind of honey, that forest floor note. Maybe that's more from the mold rather than the milk source.
Yeah, could be. I've got a tiny bit breakdown, tiny bit coming, but not massive.
Yeah, so I think that's quite a nice looking cheese, and I completely go back on what I said about the rind. You look how thin that rind is.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get like really thick rind, and it's all oozy underneath and like slip in and things like that on a cheese like this. And again, like there's a little bit of breakdown there. You can see on that corner, it's a bit more.
Yeah. But not too bad, is it? I think so. Why don't we on aroma? Do you think it's 7 again? Because it's probably as expected for this type of cheese, even though it's not particularly.
Yeah, it's definitely expected for this type of cheese.
Let's have a look at texture. I mean, whilst there is breakdown, I think I'd probably like to see a bit more breakdown in terms of texture. But that might just be my preference.
You can see in that middle there, it's still quite chalky in the centre there.
Yeah.
It it's not going to be a kind of triple cream, so you're going to want a bit more further breakdown. So I might suggest young. Maybe it's a bit too young. You know,
Yeah.
maybe a young example
Yeah.
of what we make.
Let's try it. I'll cut it across and try it.
Which is good. It's got that kind of real nice smoothness to it.
It's got a really sweet note.
Really sweet. Yeah, like what's left on the palate at the end is like just like almost like fruit sweetness.
Yeah, I was thinking
Not
what
milk
fruit it
sweetness.
was. It's definitely got that fruitiness, isn't it, to it?
I almost quite like the dual texture with that kind of chalky, then the slight squidge, and then the rind. I think that all works quite nicely together.
Yeah, and actually the texture with the flavour I think works quite nicely. It's really unusual with that sweet, it's that final fruit. I can't think what the fruit is. It's like
Can't pinpoint it, but
it's almost like a currant, isn't it? Like a red currant or
I
something.
was going to say like almost like grapevine, that kind of
Yeah.
nice cheese.
I actually really like the flavour of that.
So what were you going to give for texture and flavour?
I would
I
say,
think- Yeah, go on.
I'd say maybe 8 for texture because it's very good. I don't know as high as 9 for flavour.
Yeah. Yeah, the flavour
Flavour
is
is
really, it's really unusual as well, isn't it?
interesting, and it's
Yeah.
lovely. You know, you've got those words that making your brain go, oh, what you're thinking while you're eating, rather than just banging it in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was nice, and it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, we're thinking about it, we're discussing it.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9 for flavour. We said 9. Yeah. Yeah, really. I'd like to know what that is at the end of it. It's lovely cheese.
Looks very cute, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's got
And
that
I think,
if people want to cut those.
yeah. And I think sometimes people try these and just expect it to be like a brie type and therefore have those mushroomy or those like more brassica flavors. Actually, to cut into something that and then taste it, that's then that sweetness and that fruitiness and still that is really, yeah, it's that unusuality that you want really sometimes.
Like you said earlier, Sarah, it might actually be nice to see that cheese with a bit more age and see
Yeah.
how it goes along that profile, how it develops. So, yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
definitely.
Yeah, lovely.
Cool.
So the next cheese, the last one of this class is 1201.
Yeah.
I've got a kind of bag on my floor which I'm aiming rubbish at so I don't hit my new carpet. So I'll get told off if I throw this thing on my new carpet.
I think if I threw anything on this floor, the dog would eat it, so that'd be slightly.
I don't like my Aldi in the office.
Cool. So we have here. It feels like it's going to be quite exciting when you cut into it. Mine's
It feels like
feels
it might be the cheese we've had out of all the sheets and ones with the most kind of ooze and breakdown. You can even
Yeah.
feel it from the
I mean, I wouldn't say it was even, but that's because I think there's stuff going on inside.
Yeah.
But I quite
I've got a
like
bit
that,
of
to be honest.
cracking here on the rind, maybe a bit of damage there.
Yeah, but I could be trying. I've got a bit of yellow in, but I think that might be a bit of transport.
Yeah, I do think with some of these kind of wax papers, and especially this, it looks like that Ovaltine, that kind of like that biodegradable wrap.
Yeah.
It does kind of take away some of the mold. It like rubs it off underneath, so you get these way down to cheese on the edges.
Yeah.
And then you get a real indentation of the wrap. But to be fair, on that side, I don't know if you can see on the camera, I've still got lines on mine from where it's been turned and flipped. So actually, that's pretty good. If you can still see that,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I quite like sometimes that they're all different shapes as well. I think that makes it a bit more interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I think then for probably the look of it, 8 again.
Yeah, I might knock it down a little bit just because it is that bit more, but 7.5, 8. I'm happy with that.
7.5.
Really 7.5.
Yeah. What about aroma?
You're getting a bit more ammonia off of that. I don't know if you can strike straight away,
Yeah.
but under that, you are getting that kind of white bloomy mold rind again.
Yeah. And I get a bit of that, like it's been near a cellar or
Yeah.
that more aging place as opposed to a clinical place.
Even by, like we're fiddling with this cheese, and even by touching it, we can feel it's probably got a bit more age maybe than the last one did.
Yes.
And it won't be an old cheese anyway, but
Let's
smell inside.
see what happens.
Actually got a nice inside. It's kind of fully broken down.
Yeah.
It's not too oozy. So again, it's not got any of that slip rind, which you can kind of get, which...
Yeah, it's still holding just, isn't it?
Again, I'm not getting a huge amount of aroma off of it.
No, I'm not. No, the aroma's not really... You just smell the rind, don't you, and where it's been aged.
Ammonia, that earthy, that kind of mold.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, aroma, I'd probably put about 7.
Yeah, I don't want to be as harsh as 6 really, because it's
No.
not unpleasant. And
No, it's just not giving much, is it? But then let's see what it I mean, I do like the texture of it. We might just taste it as well, but texture looks incredible.
Yeah.
Right, let me just...
Yeah, someone even just got a small wedge of that to eat on like a cheese plate or something like that at a restaurant. People, again, it looks great.
It does. The rind is quite dominant in flavour, and I'd want more coming through from the paste, I think. So maybe...
I think the rind is also slightly thick. It's not too thick, but you do get, as your teeth go through it, you get that almost like squidge then pop as you go through.
Yeah.
Squidge then pop.
Squidge. Technical term.
Yeah.
I always try and think of what I need to say when it's like when you push something and it goes, then it gives.
Yeah, then you've got like an end bit.
Yeah, I'm going to try a bit without the rind on and just see if I get... Oh, you get a lovely peppery note, actually, don't you?
I'm still getting a bit of sweetness right there as well.
Mm.
I think salt might be actually quite high in this.
Mm.
I'm getting that almost, it's not nowhere near as high as that veterinary style initially, but I think that's kind of what's driving the flavour, which is what it's there for.
And it's nice and moussey in the middle, actually.
I'm almost getting more nutty notes from it as well. Just
Yeah.
the paste alone.
When you take off that rind, which gives you quite a one-dimensional flavour, actually there's quite a lot going on. Let's try again. I love that peppery note. Mine's not too salty, actually. There's a bit of salt on the end, but actually mine, so it might just be...
I don't think it's like almost, too like, tastes like the sea. It's that kind of gentle saltiness which is driving what flavour is there that it needs to showcase really, I think.
Yeah, I think, like we said, the rind just needs to come, maybe be a tiny bit thinner or not as domineering, because actually those flavours in the cheese come through nicely.
From a technical point of view, the rind has done its job.
Yeah,
it's really broken that cheese down, and it's not too broken down around the edge. So they've been looking after that rind to make their cheese that texture, and it's lovely. I think it's the highest mark. I think I can give that like 9 maybe for a texture. If we've not got yet.
Yeah. What about flavour? Did you say?
I've not a flavour of maybe say 7.5, 8.
7. Yeah, I was thinking 7. I just want more of that flavour of that paste coming through.
You are meant to eat it as the totality of the cheese.
Yeah.
Eating rind and paste together, you're not going to cut the rind off. You're losing half the weight of your cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want that balance to come through, don't you?
A bit more balance going on. Yeah.
And that rind, whilst it's done its job, it just is when you're eating it, it just feels a bit hard as well.
Yes, that's that chewy rind effect. It's that kind of thick rind.
Yeah.
You get a bit left at the back of your mouth or in your tooth or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, but really interesting.
Nice cheese.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So just the winning cheese from that round was the second cheese, which is F51040. And then in second place was F51149. And then third place was 1183. And that concludes round. So thanks for that, judges. That's really interesting. Lots of great commentary and descriptions of cheeses, which I always love. So just to thank Butlers, our sponsor for our aprons, and also for Miller's, our cracker sponsor for this year, providing our crackers. So join us on the 10th of June, where the winner from this class will be going into the category final, and the winners for the category final go into Supreme final on the 11th of June. So it's all live on our website, on Facebook, on YouTube, so you can see all the action, see lots of cheese chats, and Sarah will be back as well, I think, having a conversation with Nigel Barden on the day. So really good. So thanks very much for your time. Cheers.
Thank you.